London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. Build it up with wood and clay, wood and clay, wood and clay. Build it up with wood and clay, my fair lady. Wood and clay will wash away, wash away, wash away. Wood and clay will wash away, my fair lady. Build it up with bricks and mortar, bricks and mortar, bricks and mortar. Build it up with bricks and mortar, my fair lady.
Let's fix that bridge. Clap your hands.
Bricks and mortar will not stay, will not stay, will not stay. Bricks and mortar will not stay, my fair lady. Build it up with iron and steel, iron and steel, iron and steel. Build it up with iron and steel, my fair lady. Iron and steel will bend and bow, bend and bow, bend and bow. Iron and steel will bend and bow, my fair lady. Build it up with silver and gold, silver and gold, silver and gold. Build it up with silver and gold, my fair lady. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady.
So you're trying to tell me, how do I explain this to people? Because I self don't understand it. I can't understand it. What do I say? I don't know what to say. The jumpers, they're not jumpers, they break the government, they don't break the government, they do what they want, they don't do what they want. I don't know. Anyway, welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay, hope everything is all right. I'm your host, Andrew Dick. Yes. Okay, kids. You know what's happening on St. Martin, so I don't have to tell you what is happening. I trying to piece together what took place on Monday, today, in the House of Parliament. Reason why is because there was a big situation whereby the coalition of 8 members ended up having a plan to remove the chairperson of Parliament, the worst president of Parliament, of course, Grisha Martin, from the chair. But when the voting took place, 2 members of this coalition decided not to add the agenda point to remove the president of Parliament to the meeting they had in Parliament today. So the 2 members basically betrayed the 6 members that they were part of, but then in the voting of the law that the government was bringing for the 12.5% to remove the conditions for the civil servants, the same coalition members and some members of the opposition voted for the law. So therefore, they confused the living hell out of everybody in St. Martin. So, perspective. The Parliament meeting today, this is what took place. First, there was a back and forth between Sarah Westcott Williams and the President of Parliament concerning what can be added to the agenda and what could not be added to the meeting today in Parliament. Let me first start off there.
To the voting of the adding of the agenda point that was requested by MP Bryson.
Madam Chair Lady, before we go over to the voting, and obviously I will not have an opportunity to speak except to motivate briefly my vote. But Madam Chair Lady, I would need the Chair of Parliament to explain to me under what stipulation that any member can request an agenda point to be added to the agenda. Madam Chair Lady, I have on more than one occasion explained what is understood under a proposal of order. I think it is totally wrong to accept that any member can come at any time to add an agenda point to a scheduled meeting, let alone where the agenda point was nearly completed. And to prove my point, Madam Chair Lady, I am going to ask the Chair of Parliament the following question. I have a request, no, wrongly. Several members of Parliament, including myself, have a request at Parliament to debate the presentation made by His Excellency the Governor on behalf of the government of St. Martin. Madam Chair Lady, you answered the requestors of this meeting requesting two things. One, for us to motivate our vote, and secondly, for this meeting to be held subsequently to the IPCO conference in the Netherlands. Your request, Madam Chair Lady, was complied with. And I'm asking now, if this chair, if this Parliament feels that our rules of order allow me now to say to you, Madam Chair Lady, I would like that agenda point to be put on this meeting today. Is my question. Madam Chair Lady, if the argument, if your response is going to be no, then end with the argument that that particular request by the members of Parliament would require the presence of ministers, and thus you cannot put it immediately on this agenda, then I put the following to you, Madam Chair Lady. Currently, a request has just been made to Parliament for the Committee Inquiry Mullet Bay to come and present to this Parliament what that committee has done until now. That request, a formal proposal, in accordance with our rules of order, at any time, the Parliament can decide to ask an inquiry committee to present to Parliament. So my proposal to Parliament is to ask that. So if your response to my first request to let us then in this meeting debate the presentation by His Excellency the Governor can't happen because we would need ministers to come, then I ask, can I put that official proposal to have the Mullet Bay Inquiry Committee come to Parliament and tell Parliament what they have done in a committee that needed to work for 8 months, approximately 3 years, nearly 3 years later, what has been done and what has been spent. Then I ask that that proposal, which is registered at Parliament, that then be added to the agenda. Saying all of this to make the point, Madam Chair Lady, that if we are going to admit that at any time a member can ask to put an agenda point on an agenda of Parliament, we need no rules of order.
Okay, all right. So now, the voting of whether to add to the agenda point to remove the President of Parliament, yes or no, was the question. And that is why they had to vote. And the President of Parliament then did the following.
Based on the proposal by MP Westcott, it is regulated in Article 52 that before the start of a deliberation on a subject, Parliament may, on the proposal of the President or that of 3 members present in the meeting hall, impose rules regulating the duration of speeches of the members. Now, what's ambiguous is when to add it. So what I would like to suggest is that we discuss this in the next faction leaders meeting to deliberate that. I will now honor also the request by MP Westcott Williams to add as an agenda point for the Mullet Bay inquiry to come into Parliament to do a presentation and provide us with an update. But let's first go over to MP Bryson's request And I note before I adjourned, one members of parliament request Hope to look at stemming. So let's go to that. And I'll choose a number. The number is 14.
Ludmila de Weaver.
My apologies, against.
MP Sarah Westcott Williams.
Against.
MP Hakeem Arundel.
Against.
MP Rolando Bryson.
For.
MP Siddharth Bijlani.
For.
MP Chanel Brownbill.
Against.
MP Solange Duncan.
Against.
MP Christophe Emmanuel.
Against.
MP Melissa Gums.
Against.
MP William Marlin. MP George Pantaflet.
For.
MP Rayon Peterson.
Against.
MP Hyacinth Richardson. MP Angelique Rameau.
For.
Chair Lady of Parliament Grisha Helga Martin.
Against. The proposal by MP Bryson is not carried with 6, 4, and 9 against.
To say that the President of Parliament won today.
I win. I win. I win.
Yes.
I
okay.
win. I win. I win. I win.
All right. Okay, all right, I get it. Yes, you win. All right, okay. And she wore green too. Did you notice she wore green? The President of Parliament wore green today and basically telling the leader of the United People's Party, I win. I win. Yeah, it gets more interesting, people, because the support from the MPs, Brownbill, MP Hakeem Arundel, whether they send in to officially withdraw the support from the government, we don't know. I doubt that. Because, look, they voted for the government in a different agenda point. But it goes to show that the support in government has lessened. And when I say that, I mean it. Because I know you've been hearing all kind of different story when it comes to the coalition, but it's simple. Recently, 8 members of parliament sent a letter to the governor informing him of the coalition being intact. We haven't seen this document, so whether it exists or not, we'll have to take the words of the politicians we don't trust. But in any case, they say that this document exists. So based on that, 8 members, you have to minimize 2 members who today did not vote with the coalition, even though they said they were going to vote with the coalition to remove the chairperson of parliament. Now, you could say that they decided at the last minute that they didn't want to do so, or they were paid off by somebody, or they decided that in their heart, they really love Grisha Helga Martin, who continuously, for the past weeks in radio interviews, said that no matter what, she will not work with Hakeem Arundel or Chanel Brownbill. But now, Chanel Brownbill and Hakeem Arundel support her staying there only for her not to work with them. St. Martin is not a real place. I'm completely shocked. And at the same time, I shouldn't be, because politics continues to be politics, people. However, it's confusing to the population who tries to understand why these lovely people continue to stab each other in the back. Because if we are going to sit together as a majority and say, okay, so tomorrow, this is the plan. and then tomorrow comes and it doesn't happen, how do you go back into, well, yeah, you see, I thought I was ready, but yeah, I changed my mind, but I'm still there for you. I got your back. And yes, again, politics makes strange bedfellows. I get that whole saying, so don't get me wrong. But it's still surprising to see the actors play out all of this situation that happens, because then where is the trust? Where is the allegiance? And of course, that's not going to be the case, because I guess it's a dog-eat-dog world, or it's cutthroat because it's politics. That's how we play it. I cut your throat today, and tomorrow we're going to be bumpalitos. But the true winner of today's debate, today's politics, is MP Grisha Martin, because she has positioned herself as a real contender for the leadership of the United People's Party. So with a Congress coming up, the question is, who will the upcamp pick for the leader? Will it be the existing leader, Rolando Bryson, who clearly lost control of the coalition that he was in charge of for the past 3 years? Or will it be the POP, President of Parliament, who basically outmaneuvered the MP today and basically showed that Theo's still in control? Heiligers run this because she wore green and she won today. She's still the leader, and the ultimate loser for today is MP Bryson. That's just how it is. So, question is, what's going to be the MP's next move? What's Napoleon's next move? And we won't know until it actually happens. Will it be that he goes and have his own party and leaves the Theo party alone? Or will he join the National Alliance, which he's been basically carrying for the past 3 years? Maybe by join, there's actually no other good party. Let me see. That would actually take him. That's why I say a good party. Hold on. Mercelina, that's a no-go. I know for sure Gracita Arenal not going, nope. PFP for sure, I don't think he's Dutch enough. The Now part, nah. He and Chris. Nah. Capitalist, socialist, can't work. What about, yeah, either a new party or a new party. Or maybe he beats Heiliger Martin in the Congress of the UP. That should be interesting. In any case, many people are asking, what happens next, Andrew? What's going to happen now? Well, for now, nothing, because the actual MPs didn't send a letter to the House of Parliament and to the governor stating that they withdraw their support from this current government. So until that happens, they still could continue being there. However, it makes it problematic when a law or a motion or anything has to be presented in Parliament and has to be voted upon. That's going to be another interesting factor. So we have to wait and see, people. So that is your latest when it comes to this political drama that we are facing. St. Martin is not a real place. It can be, but for now, it's not. Welcome to the Late Night Show. We have a good one for you. Let's begin.
Are you ready to represent your side as JW3 Jam Where We Want presents versus Part 2? Who are you rolling with? A head-to-head battle of rhythm, bass, and drive, all in one night, featuring from AXA Anguilla, latest and Exodus HD.
Say it with your chest, oh yes!
And from Sugar City Sing Kicks, none other than Grandmasters. With a round one matchup of St. Martin's very own official band,
The Kingston
versus No Limit.
Impressive.
Plus DJ Big Boss and Maestro versus King Kimbe and Sexer. It all goes down at APS Parking Lot, also known as Tellem's Parking Lot, on Saturday, October 22nd from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. Tickets are $15 for early bird, $20 in advance, and more at the gate. Tickets are available via the K-Band app. Picture the studio on the Bush Road and at Van Dorp in Madam Estate. JW3 on Saturday, October 22nd presents Versus Part 2. Who you rolling with?
Flawless victory.